Good morning, this is Nancy and Wes with Amen Acres Homestead, and we are going to make apple jelly today. The first thing I like to do is wash the jars and the lids in warm soapy water to make sure that they're fresh and clean and ready for the canning process. I like to put the lids in a little butter bowl or any kind of a bowl with warm soapy water. I don't think they need to be heated up really hot. I've made a lot of jelly and it turns out perfect for me every time. All you really need to do is wash them and soften the rubber a little bit around the edge of the seal so that it will adhere to the jar properly. Then I like to put them back in warm water and let them just sit there. Next, we take the jars and we put them in the water and let them warm up slowly. This keeps the jars from exploding with the hot liquid in it from the jelly, because we're going to set the jelly and we're going to make it with a full rolling boil, and if you put them in cold jars they will crack and explode. So we're just going to do this. The water isn't hot in here yet. We're just going to drop the jars down into this water. And it's just water. I don't like to put anything in the water. Some people like to put things to keep the hard water to adhere to it, and I just don't do any of that. I'd rather wash the jars after. So I've got it set on medium, and we're going to make the jelly while these are heating up, getting ready to go.
And I'm going to do this part for her. We're using 4 cups of apple juice. Anything that's 100% juice will work. We just happen to like apple. Next up is the fruit pectin. We just use 1 package of the fruit pectin in there. Start stirring that and mixing it up. Sometimes I'll use a whisk to break it all up if I see it's not wanting to break up real well. But this one mixed up really good, real easy. Now it's just the process of bringing it up to a boil. As you can see, my wife and I really like apples. We had the video of the apple butter we made, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to go watch that. Please do, because it really made a good apple butter this year. Next thing you're going to do is put 5 cups of sugar in there, and you want to stir it continuously. So I'm going to start slowly adding the sugar and just stir and stir and stir.
Put the thingy down and I'll fill it for you. Two more cups. Did you tell them it's 5 cups of sugar?
That's again, I'll push it. Now they got the 5 cups of sugar in there. I want to stir this to get it to where it's fully mixed in with the juice. As you're pouring the sugar in, you can feel when it starts getting one area is too thick where it's not mixing in. You kind of stop pouring and just keep stirring. That's the only trick there is. As you're stirring, you can kind of feel those granules kind of underneath your spoon. Once it gets fully incorporated in the juice, you can stir it. You don't feel that. Bringing it up to a boil, as they call a rolling boil, and then set you a timer and do it for a minute. There it is at the rolling boil. So I can stir it and it still keeps going. So now I want to set my timer for 1 minute. I want to keep that stirred so it doesn't burn that sugar. There's my minute timer.
Okay, for the canning process with the jars need to be at 180 degrees. Now, I don't have a thermometer of any kind, so what I do is I bring it to boiling for the jars in the canning container, which is 212 degrees, and then I turn it down just a little bit and let it cool off. And I have never had a problem with it. Works out perfect every time.
So now we're going to start filling the jars. Just grab them with the wheel and dump the excess water out.
Good, thank you.
Let me get that closer down there.
Well, I don't know if we can, unfortunately. Oh, you know what? Put a hot pad and I'll move this over here. There should be some under there. It's just almost, yeah, I think it's right at the 1/2 inch line.
So you want to fill it up to the 1/2 inch line.
Show it to him.
Let's see if I can pick this up and kind of get a better look at it. And on these jars, we've done it before. As you can see, there's a bottom lip line.
That's right. 1 inch, and that's 1/2 inch, so I got to put a little more.
And you just take a clean, damp towel, and you clean that lip off. There we go.
That's better. And then you put the clean, warm lid and ring on.
And you don't have to put that lid very tight, just finger tight.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it right back into the water. And then just repeat the process. Keep pulling them out one at a time. Some people I've seen pull them out all at once, all of them. We just do one at a time because it's space-wise.
Plus, it keeps the jars good and warm so they don't explode. Is that one a little too full?
One thing you got to watch about this glass, you can touch it, but remember it's hot, so it will get warm on your fingers.
So what you do is you put them all in there and you let it get to a good boil, and you put the lid on and you let it boil for 20 minutes, and then it's canned. Make sure as you take them out not to tip the jars or they'll siphon out. You got to be really careful about that. Lid on it. Okay, now they have sat there and cooled for a while. I'm just going to take them out and setting them on a towel. Be careful not to tip them as you set them down there so they don't siphon out. And And you will begin to hear the tops pop as they cool. It's a good sign. It means they're sealing. And that's all there is to it.
Thank you guys for coming along as we show you how we make our jelly. Hope you enjoyed it. Try it. It's a cheap way to come up with jelly to eat. I was hoping to catch them as they pop, but sometimes they will pop in the water as the water's cooling down, so we didn't get that. And if you enjoyed this video, please reach down there and hit that like button and the subscribe button, please. Help us to grow. And leave a comment down there. If you have a suggestion or even an idea of different jellies or whatever, leave it down there and we'll try to get back with you, and we'll do the best we can to help everybody out. We're trying to build a community here where we can all help each other out. So even if you're watching the video, look at the comments. If there's comments down there, you might find some more suggestions.
Share us on your social media. Do what you can where you are. And have a lovely afternoon. Bye. Guys.